lovely and darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm doing another book tag. This one is the Princess Bride tag, created by Sam over at Sam's Nonsense. It is based around the book The Princess Bride by William Goldman and its movie, and this is my favorite book ever. I super love and adore it, so I need to do this tag. Also, I haven't posted a tag video in like a year, so we're gonna fix that right now. So the first question is Westley. Pick your favorite romantic hero from a book. I couldn't actually pick one favorite romantic hero. So from the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare, the first book being Clockwork Angel, I have picked Will, Tessa, and Jem. All three of them. I ship all three of them together, and I couldn't pick one. So Jem and Will are both the Shadow Hunters. They fight demons and stuff. They have mad awesome karate type fight skills, which is totally heroic. Tessa also gets some mad fighting in throughout the series, even though book one she's maybe not the strongest hero. But then as the series progresses, like, the relationship with each other is so sweet and so romantic, and you've got this love triangle going on where Jem and Will are like bestest best friends and buddies, and this super platonic love between the two of them. And then they're both really in love with Tessa, and Tessa loves both of them, and I can't pick, guys. I cannot pick which one is my favorite romantic hero, but I'm gonna pick all of them. Just all three. So next up is Princess Buttercup, and this is your favorite rags to riches story. This one I actually had to kind of Google what were rags to riches stories, because like I love Cinderella, but then like I couldn't pick a favorite version of Cinderella, and then I saw this one listed, I was like, that's it. That is definitely my favorite rags to riches story. And it is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. He gets this ticket that lets him go on this tour of the chocolate factory, and he goes from being super poor to owning the entire chocolate factory. Who doesn't want to own a chocolate factory? Plus, it's Willy Wonka, so there's like crazy things happening there, and Oompa Loompas, and all kinds of crazy types of things like soda that makes you fly. I loved this book and the movie as a kid, so definitely Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Totally. The third question or topic is The Dread Pirate Roberts, and this is your favorite book with pirates. You could also pick a book with pirates that you hadn't read, but I just super picked Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. This was like not even, there's no competition. I tried to think of another pirate book, but this one is so my favorite. I have read it so many times as a kid that I literally wore a copy of the book out. So Treasure Island focuses on Jim Hawkins, who gets a treasure map bestowed upon him that leads to pirate treasure, and he gets a ship, and they go looking for it, and they encounter pirates. This one also has Long John Silver in it, which is like one of the most famous fictional pirates ever. So if you guys haven't read Treasure Island yet, do it. Also, the Muppet version of this movie is just hilarious, and I adore it. Like, I probably read this book so many times because of that Muppet movie. Okay, the fourth question is Prince Humperdink. Pick a villain that you love to hate. This one's really hard for me because I really love the villains and frequently end up rooting for them, such as Loki in the Avengers movie, where I wanted him to win, actually. Forget the Avengers. I wanted Loki to take over Earth. I would totally follow him. So the one that I picked is kind of cheating, and it is Grindelwald from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Technically, there is a book version of the script that is written by J.K. Rowling, but I haven't actually read it, so I'm going off the movie. It's the same, right? Anyway, I picked Grindelwald. He is just so charming and enticing. I get why Dumbledore is in love with Grindelwald. Like, I get it. That makes sense to me. Like, why wouldn't you be? Yes, he's the bad guy, and his ideology is slightly skewed and everything, but he's just so much more fun than, say, Voldemort, who's just creepy and disgusting and gross. The fifth one is ROUSs. These are the rodents of unusual size. They are giant rats that live in the fire swamp. And the question for this is your favorite fantastical monster. And I picked the dragons and Seraphina. I don't know if they technically count because they take the form of humans. So sometimes they are humanoid and they can definitely think and logically process stuff. But on the other hand, they're dragons, and humans and dragons are at war with each other, so they're monsters also. but I love the fact that they can take human form. Like, that is my favorite part of these. Also, they think very logically and mathematically, and I super love and appreciate that so much. So I love The Dragons and Seraphina by Rachel Hartman. Adore them. The next question is As You Wish, a book with a sweet romance. So I read a lot of romance, a lot of chick lit, fairy tales, super adore them. So picking my favorite or the most sweet one was kind of hard, but I decided on Geekerella by Ashley Poston. The main characters in this, Ella and Darren, are super adorable. I love that their relationship is built around texting and they don't really know who the other person is. They're also both super huge fans of this one television show that's now getting turned into a movie, and I adore it. My geek mind just completely ate this up. Also, it's a Cinderella retelling, which is one of my favorite fairy tales growing up. All of it. I love everything about this book. So if you guys haven't checked out Geekerella, totally do that. Mwarrige is the next one, and it is to name 2 book characters that you ship, and also to name 2 characters that you don't ship. So for ones that I actually do ship together, I picked Katie Chandler and Owen Palmer from the Enchanted Ink series by Shauna Swenson. Katie is completely not magical, to the point that magic doesn't even work on her. And Owen is a wizard, and he is a super, super powerful wizard. And he's also incredibly shy. Like, he's so bookish and reserved and introverted, but then he's also been raised to be shy so that he doesn't try to take over the world because he's so powerful. And I super love the dynamic between Katie, who's this small town girl from Texas, and Owen, and I just ship it. Also, the magical world in this series doesn't exactly hurt. There's literally magic in the relationship, guys. And then the one that I don't ship is Daisy and Gatsby from The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I super hate Daisy. Everything about her. I despise her. I don't want her to be with anyone. If anything, she should stay with her husband because, you married him. So the whole point of this book is Gatsby's throwing these parties to try to get Daisy's attention so he can win her affections. And it's just so creepy. She's married, dude. She's also weird. Why do you want her? Leave her alone. And then we've got Nick in here who totally, I think he's crushing on Gatsby. I think he's in love with Gatsby. So I think Gatsby should hook up with Nick instead. That's my thoughts on Gatsby. So the next one is Fezzick, Vezzini, and Montoya. This is the group of criminals that are running around and end up kidnapping Buttercup. And the topic for this one is your favorite book criminal group. This one was really hard, honestly. I had singular people who are criminals that I super love, but I couldn't really think of an organization that fits into it. So the one that sort of fits, but that I really do love, is the Rampion Crew from the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. Book 1 is Cinder. They're dystopian fairy tale retellings. And in the first book, Cinder, the main character, isn't really a criminal until the end of the book, where she breaks out of prison. At least I think that happens at the end of this book and not the start of the next one. But she runs into this other criminal, Carswell Thorne, who has stolen the ship, the Rampion, from the US government. And so everybody who kind of jumps on his ship is aiding and abetting his theft. Also, Cinder becomes an outlaw as she's running away from the evil queen. Later on, we meet Wolf, who's a soldier from the bad guys who turns. So there's a criminal element to this, but mostly they're the rebellion, and they're the good guys. It's just that the bad guys happen to be in power at the time. I super love all the characters in the Lunar Chronicles. They are amazing. This whole world is so well thought out. Number 9 is Inigo Montoya. So this is the best revenge story. This is another one where I kind of got stuck and had to think. So my favorite revenge story is Hamlet by William Shakespeare. Definitely one of the most classic plays ever written. In this story, Hamlet is visited by the ghost of his father, and he finds out that his dad was actually killed by the current king, who was his brother. So Claudius has killed King Hamlet so that he could take the throne and marry his wife. And then the younger Hamlet has to avenge his father's death by killing his uncle and his mother. It's actually, it's a really deep play. To Be or Not to Be is from this, that whole deep contemplative thing. But it's also really funny. There are scenes in here where people are are mad / are pretending to be mad. I love Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. So overall, Hamlet is just amazing. It is definitely one of the best written things in English literature. So question 10 is book or movie. So for The Princess Bride, do you like the book or the movie better? And it's really hard. I love them both a lot. But the book is my favorite. I adore it. So it has all the plot lines that the movie has. All the best lines are also in the book. It's amazing. I love the storyline with Buttercup and Westley and their romance and everything that happens, all the crazy adventures and the villains. But the book also has this outside storyline, which you sort of get in the movie a tiny bit. So in the book, we have this entire second element happening in it. This is as much a fairy tale about romance, about Buttercup and Westley's romance and their adventures, as it is a love story about books and why we love books and why we love literature and why we write and why we read and all of it. So I really love it for that element. So besides the fairy tale that's happening with Buttercup and Westley, which is totally adorable and why I love the movie, but the reason the book is better is because there is also the storyline where a fictional version of William Goldman is trying to find his favorite childhood book, The Princess Bride, and give it to his son. And when he does track it down, his son looks at it and is like, I'm not going to read this 900-page volume. It's really, really badly written. And William Goldman finds out that he's never read the book all the way through, first of all. And what he does remember is his dad reading it to him when he was a child. And so he kind of has this good parts version in his head. And so he sets about abridging The Princess Bride down to what he remembers his dad reading him. So it's a look at literature and storytelling in general, and I totally love it. I geek out about it completely. I read this for the first time when I was in middle school, and it completely changed the way that I thought about books. This is the first book where I really thought about who authors are and why they do what they do. Like, I knew that there were humans who wrote books. I knew that there were authors, but I didn't think about why. And so this is the book that made me want to write and also made me think about like this whole other aspect of storytelling. Like, it's not just the story, it's the people who are telling the stories and the people who are reading them. And I love that this book can capture that. Like, it's amazing. So yes, read the book if you guys haven't already, because it's freaking fantastic and I love it and I'm totally geeking out about it. So guys, those were my answers to the Princess Bride tag that was created by Sam over at Sam's Nonsense. I will leave the link to the original video in the description below. The questions are in the description below, and my answers are going to be in the description below. There's a lot of things in the description below, as well as links to videos that I've already done about the Princess Bride because I super love it. It's my favorite. It's really my favorite, guys. I'm not even kidding. Like, I know some book geeks don't have favorite books, but I totally do, and it's this one. So feel free to help me out by liking this video, sharing it, subscribing to my channel, leaving me comments. What are your answers to these? If you've done a version of this, like, link to it, and I will totally check it out. So peace out. I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye!